Good about asking viewers. If you are new to the channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Mr. Ashide Michael, we have seen Anuna and Carlo, seen and Asari coming out clearly to acknowledge that Anuna and Carlo actually won him against the man Tinubu. And we saw a man talking about Asari Kobo who sang a song, turn by turn, na Jagaban turn, I beg wait for your turn. And currently, there is a frosty relationship. To the extent that, as some people have said, going forward, the judges are going to form a line with the North against the Yorubas, that Yorubas are betrayers.
Oh, no, see, when you mention North, I begin to, I said at a point in time, the time has come where the lives of Asari Dokubo should be relegated.
Yes.
Because they have championed the Ijaw press, they have championed Niger Delta to death. The issue of Niger Delta, they have destroyed the fabrics of agitation for recognition and transformation in Niger Delta.
Now, what do you make of his advice that came from Nnamdi Kanu to Asari Kobo to be wary of Tinubu?
Well, let me tell you, this is something that happened a few years ago. And you can see that the reality is already playing out in his own very face. We saw the kind of thing he did in Abuja in solidarity to Jagaban. And to an extent, he was even claiming, bro, what will it take you? How much is a car? How much is a bag of rice that you are going to sell the entire Ijaw nation to somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu? But who have seen this thing years back and have gone through the process and has researched on the issue of the Yoruba Northern relationship. And I can tell you, it's not every Yoruba man that buys into this idea. But Aya Adebanjo, the late by Aya Adebanjo, respect to you, sir. That's why I respect him till tomorrow. These are pro-Zekists who understand the elementary foundation of this country before he switched over to become an Awoist. I respect that man because he stood on the side of regionalism, he stood on the side of restructuring, he stood on the side of justice till death.
What is justice?
So that's why I respect him. So when we are talking about what Mazin Nnamdi Kanu shared with Asari Dokubo in the past, to be careful, he's not telling you to hate a Yoruba man. He's not telling you to do, but he's going to tell you to call your consciousness on the consequences of having alliance with people who have shown over the time that the conspiracy theory is in their DNA. Nigerian politics is all about money. Nigerian interest is all about money. But look at it, upon everything that was offered to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, he rejected it. That's integrity. That's what I'm talking about, that's integrity. But you can see, even at that point, he felt that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to take away the contract given to Tombolo and hand it over to Asari Dokubo. Then Asari Dokubo was just almost throwing the whole thing on the air. To an extent, he was challenging the Igbo nation. But you can see, in all this thing, nobody reacted. The Igbo nation never questioned Asari Dokubo. Even though we know that his great-grandfather is from Abia State.
And this is your brother you're talking about.
I'm telling you, so you can see the kind of damage the Northern alliance with the Yorubas have done as a result of resources in that region.
Permit me to bring this angle because Asari Dokubo himself is of video currently, acknowledging that a good number of places, almost all the places in River State, have Igbo as their origin. The video is online.
Yeah, it's online, but is it not what we have been saying before? But why are they coming out to tell the reality? I told you there was a reason why John Mbata, that's why I respect Fubara. Yeah, I respect Fubara. Fubara, if you can look at what is happening now, Fubara never go against the Supreme Court judgment. He never. We have studied, but you can see the haste, the move, and everything, the speed at which the National Assembly was compromised. You can see the speed, the integrity of the presidency was compromised to declare and remove and suspend a democratically elected. It's an embarrassment not only to Ijaw nation, and secondly, he went as far as going the way of Gowon by declaring an emergency in the Biafran land. And Fubara is saying we are against it. And as simple as that. At every point in time, if you look at Fubara, what is the issue? when he was elected, he opened his, that was supposed to be his about leadership. It's not about enmity. He cannot be loyal to Wike.
And people say
I think we visited him.
people say they don't do Tabasco in that area.
Bros, yes, because that's the kind of philosophy they want to introduce. You can see, even though when it became very clearly, that the Igbo influence in the South was being diminished as a result of that war, they encouraged it too. I can tell you. But what did Igbo do? Igbo stayed and continued to do their things. You can see what, so the video that went viral a few months ago, that upon all the abandoned properties they claim that they have possession on, that Igbos have come back to buy all of them. But these are the people that have deep resources, too many resources that are already on the hand of the Northerners. That's what I'm telling you, that time has come for the light of Asari and the rest of them to be incapacitated. We want to see fresh rise of Tombolo. I want to see fresh rise of the likes of this men coming to define the real truth, not coming to embrace the real reality, a higher reality. That's what we are seeking for. The Igbo have never tampered with the resources. Those who are enjoying it now are still putting the entire Ijaw nation down into the gutters. And I think it is time, for whatever reservation they might have had in the past, to put it aside and know that Nigeria has become a threat and a common enemy. And at this point, Asari Dokubo, who's also saying a different thing now, to also remember there was a time it came very clearly that it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu or not. It was so obvious. But why is it that the job people are not asking him questions now?
I was thinking that we have reformed, our democracy have reformed beyond God.
No, see, in the absence of justice, democracy is justice, is built on justice. The foundation of democracy in any part of the world is built on justice. And without justice, outside justice, without justice, my brother, people will think otherwise. And that is what is happening now. The Ijaw nation has been destroyed as a result of pollution, as a result of oil drilling in that area. The federal government, up to this moment, how many years from now, has not deemed it fit even to clean common Ogoni land. Up to this moment.
And Ogoni is the most polluted place in the whole world.
You can see. But what they are fighting now is to put an administrator there and make sure that the resources they continue to come unhindered.
Because of what you just said, the federal government have acknowledged that the fund that was seized from River State had not been released to the.
Yeah, what it show you is it was clearly a deliberate act, and it is very unfortunate, that the senators, apart from Seriki Dixon, Engineer Baribe, and I think Tambuwa and the rest of them who walked out of this, calamity. And we are seeing people protesting why they should even carry out such a thing without going through the normal process. That the president have no right to do that. But you can see that what is happening is because they want to make sure that the resources that is coming from River State will come unhindered. They will sit on it and be able to use it to attack the same Ijaw people. And you can see what it's like now. But I must give kudos to the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde. Seyi Makinde has always been my man.
But what position of Seyi Makinde on this?
Yes, I think a form of maybe there's a court option anyway, and also there's a solidarity for Bara, and maybe from there they are likely going to take it up from that angle. But I can tell you that it might bring a kind of crisis between him and Wike, on this issue, because
let's even look at this angle, because though Victor may have denied it, because according to Sahara reporters, that $10,000 was given to a good number of senators to make them approve that emergency river fee. And they accuse Victor as being one of those that collected, and of course he played a significant role in distributing.
Yeah, I think it was clearly stated there in the platform owned by Sowore that $10,000, $5,000 or thereabout is changed hand. But I can tell you, they wouldn't have rushed to carry out such a thing if there's nothing already put on
So
the
they
table.
agree that.
So that allegation is what investigating. And if it's going to be investigated, you will still find out that, you know, a lot of things might have gone on behind the scene without Nigerians knowing. But what we are looking at, you know, that at what level and at what point would Nigerians, with the system, continue to treat, you know, injustice to the extent it has finally become a threat to the citizens who are supposed to be enjoying the dividends of democracy. I have deep reservations against Nigeria and her leadership.
Let me bring this angle because PDP the way it stands have indicated their interest to go to court to challenge this impunity. Now don't forget that RFI was on the other time where he acknowledged that when Obasanjo did it in the past, that in 2006 that a court nullified that state of emergency in Plateau State, talking about Joseph Daddy of them, that the Court of Appeal have ruled that under no circumstance can the president exercise the power of suspending an elected governor or House of Assembly under Section 305 of 1999 Constitution as amended.
Yeah, you know what we are saying is that, you know, at this point where we find ourselves and during the era of Obasanjo, would we say actually that the judiciary was independent? That's the question we needed to ask ourselves. Would we say that the judiciary was independent? And would we say that the judiciary itself is independent now? We have seen reactions coming from the NBA, you know, condemning it and saying it's illegal, it's unlawful, it's not going to stand, you know. But this is Nigeria, where money, bribery is being factored in providing justice for anybody. With that money, you cannot get justice in Nigeria. As simple as that. On a literal ground, you know, the lawyers are there, the judges are there, NBA is there, CDN is there, Judicial Commission, whatever. All the agencies attached to the judiciary are all there, you know, and nobody seems to be talking because money is being used as a determinant for justice.
I think it's a good place to let it go. It's a developing story. We hope to have more conversation on this as the days go by. But we hope that as it stands in Nigeria, that abnormality do not become a norm in Nigeria.
Yes, on this note, there's going to be a massive movement any moment from now in solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. And of course, we are hearing that there's a massive build-up already in the Greeks. To an extent, we believe that Fubara wanted to, but the whole thing has been thrown to the air. And we are seeing this build-up in the Greeks. We don't know who they are, but at least Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been put on the table. And what will determine anything from now is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you very much. This is a good place to let it go. Hope to have you next time.